those that you love. It seems like yesterday that the class of 1991 was in kindergarten. They were able to hold on through kindergarten, the first, second, third, and on through the 12th grade. And now it's time to graduate. What a thrill, what an opportunity to graduate from high school, probably the most historical time in the history of this country. How does it feel to graduate from high school? What are the thrills? What really happens? Well, one thing, you can look at it from a parental standpoint. As a parent, you're real excited. You call all your friends and say, look, my child is graduating from high school. And then it comes time for baccalaureate sermon. You get there early as a parent. You wait. You listen to the music. And all at once the march starts and you start looking for your child. And then you see your child head up, marching in. And you reflect back on the first day that that child went to school. And then you're filled with a sense of pride. And you look forward to the day that that child will walk across the stage and receive that degree. All friends come from every direction. Friends bring gifts and congratulate the graduates. But the thrill of it, the excitement. And today we salute the class of 1991. Last night, I went to the wake service of one of my former schoolmates from Grayson, Oklahoma, Florence Deanna Guillory Wilson. We call her D. Florence was one of 8 children born to Sylvester and Pauline Guillory. Her parents, 2 brothers, 1 sister, and an infant, preceded her in death. She was Christian or Catholic at a very early age and attended school at Uganda Martyrs in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. As an adult, she was a member of the St. Peter, Claver, and Corpus Christian parishes in Oklahoma City. She worked as a dietitian at Blessed Martin, DePores, and Rosary schools in Oklahoma City. But she had that longing to go back home. So in 1976, she and Frank built a beautiful home and moved back to Grayson, Oklahoma, where she attended Uganda's Martyrs Parish. But on Tuesday, May 14th, 1991, Florence Guillory Wilson went home to be with her God. The scriptures are so familiar. I have called you by your name. You are mine, and you are precious in my eyes. You are honored, and I love you. The scriptures. Blessed is she who believed that the promise made by her, by the Lord, would be fulfilled. Florence Guillory Wilson from Grayson, Oklahoma, is dead. And today we remember her husband, Frank Wilson of Grayson, her beautiful daughter that we call Cleo, named Cleopatra Scott, son-in-law Paul of Oklahoma City, a son, George W. Wilson of Oklahoma City, a daughter, Paula W. Hardeman of Oklahoma City, and a devoted friend, Dr. Sally R. Cole. 11 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. 3 sisters, Leatta Umstead and Zenobia Manning of Grayson, Oklahoma, and Ellen Spivey of Oklahoma City. Some of you will remember Florence through her brother, Virgil Guillory of Tulsa, Oklahoma. But in a few minutes, the family will be headed to Okmulgee, Oklahoma, to the Uganda's Martyrs Catholic Church, where services will be held with Reverend Arthur O'Hara officiating. The pallbearers will be Ronald Spivey, Kenneth Guillory, Leonard Guillory Jr., Elbert Celestine, Clifford Spivey, Virgil Umstead, George Guillory, and Elmer Payne. Her pallbearers will be her grandsons that she loved so well. The flower bearers will be Vanessa Guillory, Lucille Payne, Virgiline Guillory, Bobby LeBlanc, Trudy Spivey, Velvet Williams, Janet Celestine, and Martha Gibbard. And then her honorary flower bearers will be her granddaughters. And from Okmulgee, they will take her to the Sacred Heart Cemetery in Grayson, Oklahoma. And today I have a thank you note from the family that is so grateful. The family of Florence Wilson would like to acknowledge all of the prayers, the visits, the cards, the flowers, and other token of expression, call them expression of kindness, that have been extended to them during the illness and death of Florence. Last night it was a quite large crowd that gathered at the Temple Chapel. There were remarks from friends and relatives. And maybe the most heartwarming remarks of all came from her lovely daughter Paula, who stood in the crowd with tears in her eyes and said, "My mother was a loving, caring mother." Today we look to the great God of the universe and we thank Him. We thank Him for the people that we have known, and certainly we thank God for the life of Florence Guillory. Many of you remember my talking about her because we have a club with people from Grayson and Hoffman, and Florence was the vice president for a long time of that club. A few weeks ago, a young lady came to our office. This young lady expressed a keen desire to be part of the 1991 Miss Black Oklahoma State pageant. And she decided that she would represent Cleveland County in this pageant. Her name was Anjanette Simmons. Angie was from Dallas, Texas, and was an accomplished pianist. She came. She met the qualifications and signed up to represent Cleveland County in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. I had the opportunity yesterday morning to talk to her mother. Her mother lives in Dallas, Texas, and she said to me, "Mrs. Luper, my daughter was so happy to have been a part of the pageant. Last week I spent time buying her an evening gown for the pageant. But today I'm preparing for her funeral. It is true. It is true, ladies and gentlemen, that Anjanette Simmons was killed in Norman, Oklahoma this past week. It's also true that she came and she left some congratulatory ads with me and asked me a question. She said, "Miss Luper, what shall I play? What shall my talent be? Shall it be a piece written and composed by Bach or by Beethoven?" And I say to her, "What do you want to do?" And she said, "I love both of them." She never got to make that decision. And when the young ladies walk across the stage on June 15th, there will be one young lady that's missing. According to the news, there was a dispute that grew from an argument over dishes, which ended with the stabbing death of one University of Oklahoma student, Anjanette Simmons, and murder charges against another one. Larita Dale Pullen, 23, of Oklahoma City, was charged Thursday in Cleveland County District Court with first-degree murder in the death of Angie Annette Simmons. Both students were renting apartments in Norman, Oklahoma, and the stabbing occurred shortly after 6 p.m. Wednesday outside Pullen's apartment. Simmons underwent surgery Wednesday night at Norman Regional Hospital, but died at 7:30 a.m. on Thursday. It was stated to me that she was stabbed in the heart, the lungs, the uterus, and the liver. It was all over for Anjanette Simmons. Where are we going as a people? These young ladies had been friends, but the friendship turned to hostility over the past 7 days, according to some informants, because of the dishes. According to a mother deeply grieved and a father deeply grieved in Dallas, they say to me that the funeral services will be held in Dallas, Texas at 11 o'clock on Monday. When will it stop? When will we stop killing each other? I don't care what the circumstances were. I don't care what conditions exist. Some way and somehow we're going to have to stop killing each other. Girls killing girls, college student. This is a Clara Luper radio show. This part of our program is being made possible by Dr. A.L. Dial, who extends congratulations to the 1991 graduates. Now that you are out of school, you need to spend some time reading. Why don't you go down and let him check your eyes? Dr. A.L. Dial at 934 Northeast 8th Street in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 235-0536. Let me repeat. The telephone number for Dr. A.L. Dial is 235-0536. Congratulations to the 1991 graduates from Chaucer's Jardina's Daycare Center. Chaucer's Jardina's was organized by Gloria and David Burris at 707 Northeast 7th Street in Oklahoma City in 1968. It was named for their 3 children, Johnson Menard, who owns and operates his own paint and body shop on South Walker Street in Oklahoma City, Cheryl Fowler, a teacher at John Marshall High School and also a coordinator for the Child Care Center, and Dina Red, who is employed at Tinker Field. In 1974, David Burris passed away, and at that time, Johnson was made director for the center. In 1977, Gloria married Paul C. Matthews, and they celebrated their anniversary last week, and it was not Gloria's birthday. It was an anniversary celebration for she and Paul. And now they own a nursery at 1643 Northeast 50th Street, which is now a preschool and nursery, and I would like for you to see the playground equipment. They also have a nursery located at 2611 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 424-4656 or 427-5274. Mrs. Gloria Mathis says, congratulations to the 1991 graduating class. We talk a lot about what should be done, but the question finally boils down to what are we doing to change situations. Some of you have called me and you have complained because I told you that if you didn't clean your own house, if your yard was not clean, and you would go to heaven where everything was clean, you would complain. I don't know who you would complain to first. Oh, yes, I believe you would complain to St. Peter. You would say to St. Peter, Peter, I don't like up here. I miss the filth of my own home. I'm not comfortable up here walking on these gold streets with no ants, no rats, no roaches. I want to go back where I can continue to live as I lived. The point that I'm trying to make is that we must clean our own houses. And I'm not only talking about the outside. It doesn't make sense for a lot of old automobiles and trash and things to be in front of our houses. And we want to do one thing. We want to make the northeast section of Oklahoma City the cleanest and the purest part of Oklahoma City. Now, when we clean the outside, we're going to clean the inside. We want to clean our city of hatred, jealousy. We want it clean. And the leadership of this must start with each one of us. If you ask me who are the leaders in this community, I can tell you, you are the leaders in this community. And I'm a leader in this community. I can lead my trash from the front of my house to a trash can and let somebody pick it up. You are the leader. Now, if you don't like what I'm saying, you clean your house and I'm going to clean mine, and we all are going to be clean, and the world will know that we are clean. You know, it's easy to be lazy. For a group of people that have been in slavery, that have withstood segregation and discrimination, to get up near the 21st century and look around and their houses aren't clean. And I want you out in radio land, I want you to tell me where I can find the dirtiest yards in Oklahoma City, so I can let everybody know that we have somebody in Oklahoma City that's not preparing to go to heaven, because if you're preparing to go to heaven, you not only will look good from the inside, but from the outside. Today is a day that you can buy that special catfish dinner at Freedom Center. Catfish dinners are on sale today at Freedom Center. Those of you say that you want to help the young people. You want to see young people change. Well, you can do it today by helping them. As you know, we've been working hard to build a monument to blacks and whites that have fought and died for freedom. We have worked hard to expose our young people to the best. We've taken them to conventions all over this country, and we will be taking them to Houston, Texas, to the NAACP National Convention, and we need your support. We need you to come by Freedom Center and say, I want to help these young people. And when you hear about Freedom Center, many times you hear about Clara Luper, but you don't hear the whole story. You don't hear about Letty Ruth Hunter, Leola Ford, Gloria Mathis, Cheryl Fowler, Salonia Bennett. You don't hear about Maxine Stale. You don't hear about Marilyn Hildred, Calvin Luper, C.P. Wilson, Calvin Whitaker, and the list could go on and on of people that come up and help these young people. Now, we are desperately in need of your help today, and this is going to be a test for us. Are you with us? We were with you when you needed help. You came to us and said that you were having trouble on your jobs. We were there. And now we want you to come by today and enjoy some delicious catfish. We want you to do it. They will start serving catfish dinners at 11 o'clock, and I would appreciate it if you call me out here and say, Clara, I'm with you, and I want a catfish dinner. They are only $5, and not only that, you get some good old homemade peach cobbler. You get some spaghetti that's made to its fullest by Gloria Mathis. You get salad. Oh, you get it. And let me tell you, I'm going to give you the names of those sponsors. And each sponsor today, in order for our program to go over, we've got to sell 100 catfish dinners today. We must do that. Now, I'm going to give you some names that I want you to call for your catfish dinner. And you can put it on any list that you want to. Cheryl Fowler is a chairman, and I want you to call Cheryl Fowler. You may call her out here. And you may call out here and tell us that you want a dinner from Cheryl Fowler. Calvin Whitaker is an assistant, and you may call Calvin Whitaker and tell us that you want your dinner put on Calvin Whitaker's list. Mrs. Hunter, Letty Ruth Hunter, and I want you to get these names down because I want you to call Letty Ruth Hunter. Gloria Mathis might be the one that you want on that list. Salonia Bennett, that might be the one. And incidentally, all of these people are producing results, and they need your support. Maxine Stale, although Stale's restaurant is open today, Maxine Stale is a part of this catfish dinner, and this must be the largest catfish dinner in the history of catfish dinners, because we're going to sell 100 catfish dinners today. Marilyn Hildred, your Allstate agent, will be there helping, and she's making some salad that's out of sight. And we have it down so simple that we can reach our goal today. We can do it. Now, Clara, Luper, I know all of you will be buying catfish dinners from me, because if just my students buy catfish dinners, I will beat Lady Ruth Hunter, because the students from John Marshall and the students from Dungy, Northeastern, all will rally behind me. Now, it's unbelievable how quickly we are going to sell 100 catfish dinners. Now, let me go back over. Calvin Whitaker, Lady Ruth Hunter, Gloria Matthews, Salonia Bennett, Maxine Stale, Marilyn Hildred, Mrs. Smith, a teacher in the Oklahoma City school system, will also be up there. And you haven't seen anything. You need to go up there and you need to look at Freedom Center and look what we are trying to do. And when we try, we are going to succeed, because you have made us successful. No other youth council in the United States owns our own building. No other youth council in the United States has won as many awards as your NACP Youth Council. And they have won these awards because you have made it possible. You have done it. You have supported them. And let me let you in on a big secret. 20 youth councils out of hundreds in the United States have been asked to put a display in Houston, Texas at the National NACP Convention. And your youth council, your NACP Youth Council, has asked to put on a display. Now, in this display, there will be pictures of you, because you are part of it. You are responsible for it. You, Kermit James, and others have bought catfish dinners. You have seen that the building outside has been paved and it's been wired, and we are working now to raise enough money to put that monument up. You know that. And so today is your big opportunity to continue that support. Now, if you don't want a catfish dinner, you don't have to eat a catfish dinner. All you have to do is go up and leave your donation and say, I want to be a part of it. Well, the catfish dinners are coming up. Barbara Smith is cooking a delicious peach cobbler. Now, Barbara Smith is Corey Smith's mother, and she has a peach cobbler all ready. Now, Barbara Smith, let me go back over so you can call out here and let us know who you're going to buy your catfish from. Your choice: Cheryl Fowler, Calvin Whitaker, Lady Ruth Hunter, Gloria Matthews, Salonia Bennett, Maxine Stale, Marilyn Hildred, Barbara Smith, and Clara Luper. Now, this is going to be interesting. Please call me at 672-1220. The Catfish Freedom Dinner. When we think of our young people, we think about what we can do to help them. We've got to show love toward our young people. And if any of you want to buy a catfish dinner for one of the 1991 graduates, that will help them pass that test. Be sure and call us 672-1220. So you want to know who to buy your catfish from? All right, we are ready. Cheryl Fowler, Calvin Whitaker, Lady Ruth Hunter, Gloria Matthews, Salonia Bennett, Maxine Stale, Marilyn Hildred, and Barbara Smith. Oh, I left out Clara Luper, but let me kind of give you the people that's going to buy catfish dinners from Clara Luper today. I'm only supposed to sell 10, but I always do more than I'm expected to do because I know how to do it. Mr. Robert Gates of the Gates Barbie Shop will be buying, and he has ordered 2 catfish dinners. That's 2 of mine. And then one of my favorite nephews, David Hall. I don't know how many catfish dinners David wants, but anyway, David will call out here and let me know. And incidentally, if all my kinfolks buy catfish from me, there's no telling how many catfish dinners I will sell. Did you know that I was kin that my family is probably one of the largest families in Oklahoma? Did you know when you talk about Clara Luper, you better be careful how you talk about it, because the Hendersons are all my relatives, the Riverses are relatives, I got the Hendersons, the Rivers, the Shepherds, and don't make those Germanys upset. The Germanys, the Hendersons, the Hall, and you better not say anything around the Merricks. All of those are my kin folks, and don't you ever forget. And don't you dare say nothing about Clara Luper around the Overstreets. And I'm looking for the Overstreets to go. Somebody said, you got more kin folks. I said, yes, you're right. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and I'm certainly enjoying this show today because I'm talking about catfish dinners. Catfish. I would like to welcome today a young lady that won the hearts of those of you that attended the 1991 Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant. Beautiful young lady, and a young lady that will represent the #1 county in this state, Michelle McElwee. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Oh, I am really happy. I'm going to lead everybody in catfish. Call me out here. 672-1220. Call me out here and tell me, because today, when we finish selling these catfish dinners about 2:30, we're going to have a catfish dinner queen and a king. Who will be the queen and who will be the king? Michelle, I would like to welcome you to the Clara Luper radio show. And I would like to congratulate you. How do you feel now that you're going to state to represent Oklahoma County?
Oh, I'm very excited and proud that I was selected first runner-up to be able to represent Oklahoma County in the pageant.
Well, how do you feel about the people that have congratulated you?
Oh, I'm very thankful. I thank my parents and my family and all my friends and other supporters that I had during the pageant and will continue to support me during the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant.
Tell me about your parents.
Oh, my parents are the most loving, wonderful parents anyone can have. Of course, I'm a little biased because they are mine, but I think they're just wonderful.
Okay, who are they?
Roma and William McElwee.
What does William McElwee do?
He is a math teacher at Millwood High School.
Oh, great. I want him to. Mr. McElwee, I'd like for you to come up and help us count this money from the catfish dinner because I'm going to lead everybody in catfish. Okay, I just got another report. Mrs. McLear, Darlene ordered 2 catfish dinners under the name of Clara Luper, and I'm leading with catfish. All right, and your mother?
My mother, Roma McElwee, she is a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Practice. Yes.
What are you going to do when you finish college?
Well, probably going to law.
Well, you have a selection. You could either go into law or teaching. Why did you select law like your mother rather than teaching like your father?
Well, I plan to work with numbers in that, too. I'm not going to teach math, but I want to specialize in tax law and be a certified public accountant.
So you are going to take a bit of your father and a bit of your mother, and you're coming out as a whole.
Yes.
Oh, that's really wonderful. As you look back over your high school days and your parents' support, in what area do you feel you got the greatest support from your parents?
Well, really all areas, but I guess they stress education very much.
How do they do it? How do parents stress education to their young people?
Well, my parents, they explained to me how important education was and that to be successful, you must have a good education and always strive to be your best. And to be your best, you really need a proper educational background.
And they stress that to you, right?
Yes.
Well, what are you doing? I know you graduated from Millwood School, but what have you done since you graduated?
Well, I have just finished my freshman year at Oklahoma University. Just got through with finals a couple of weeks ago, and basically, I will be continuing at Oklahoma University to continue my education.
Okay, I'll be back with you in a minute, but you know this is Catfish Day, and I want you to look. Fluky McDaniels say he wants 1 catfish dinner from Clara Luper and 1 from Calvin Luper. Denise Stevens say, I want a catfish dinner from Barbara Smith. Nancy Banks, I want a catfish dinner from Cheryl Fowler, and Dr. J. Harold Darrell and wife Shirley from Langston, Oklahoma, want 1 catfish dinner from Clara Luper and 1 from Gloria Matthews. Let's salute the catfish. And once again, the names of the people that are running for Catfish Queen and King: Clara Luper, Cheryl Fowler, Calvin Whitaker, Letty Ruth Hunter, Gloria Mathis, Salonia Bennett, Maxine Stale, Merrill Helen Hildred and Barbara Smith. Who will be the winner? I don't know, but I can tell you who's leading now. Clara Luper's leading with Catfish. Okay, and I'm talking to a beautiful young lady who will be representing Oklahoma County in the Miss Black Oklahoma contest. Calvin is about to fall out here because I left off his name. Calvin Luper is in the race.
Yeah,
now, Calvin.
You're absolutely right. You're just going. I tell you go so fast on Saturday mornings, but I'm enjoying the show, and evidently a lot of people out there are too, and especially Fluky. And I sold that dinner with Fluky, but he really actually what Fluky wanted. Fluky McDaniel said, "I want 2 dinners from Clara Luper," and I said, "Fluky, I can't deliver the message unless
Calvin, how can you be so?
Well, that's the advantage of being on the phone at this particular time. But I am in the race and I am running because some of my friends will be calling to be a part of this great catfish dinner.
Now, Calvin, I want to ask you a personal question. Do you think that you can outsell Clara Luper in selling catfish dinner when I'm running for the queen and we don't have the king?
Well, the race is not a short race. It's a very long race, and there is enough catfish up there for mine to count. So you just keep a tally, and as they come in there and they say, this is because and from Calvin Luper, then you just go ahead and mark me up. At the end of the race, you count it up, and you'll see where I stand.
But C.P. Wilson and Calvin Whitaker will be frying the catfish, and I would like for you to know that C.P. Wilson is also in the race for the catfish king. Now, will we have a king or we have a queen? We know Queen Elizabeth has been in America